Hello, my name is Mike Licklider. I'm the Superintendent of Schools for Penn Manor, and on behalf of the entire Penn Manor School District, as well as the Board of Directors, I welcome you to our Kindergarten Information Program. We're very proud of our schools and our students, all the work that they've accomplished over the last number of years, and we're very proud, too, of our kindergarten program. So throughout the rest of this video, you'll learn more about our program from our teachers, Dr. Sugra, who coordinates our program, along with all the curriculum work that you can expect for your children in the classroom. We would encourage you to take this information, help prepare your child for kindergarten next year, and as you move forward for the rest of this year and also for your child's year in kindergarten, if you have any questions, please reach out first to your child's kindergarten teacher, but also to your building principal or even to the superintendent's office. We're always happy to help and to answer your questions so that your child can be successful in kindergarten. So thank you again for choosing Penn Manor, and we hope this information will be helpful to you.
Hello, my name is Jen Sugra, and I'm the principal at Marduk Elementary School, and I also serve as the kindergarten coordinator. I would like to welcome you to Penn Manor and especially to kindergarten. There are a few early childhood events that we host within the district that I'd like to make you aware of. One of them is the Lunch and Learn. We host a Lunch and Learn at every single one of our 7 elementary schools, and they are during the months of February, March, April, and May. Please check out your school's website for information about these. They are for 3- and 4-year-olds that are getting ready to enter kindergarten. Another early childhood event in our district are preschool stay and learns. They are hosted by our local preschools and they target 1- and 2-year-olds. It's a great opportunity for families to go investigate childcare options, visit, and have a wonderful day surrounded by learning. Another good resource for early childhood is our Tiny Comets website. It's maintained by the school district and it features all of our early childhood events that are coming. You can check out the link at the bottom of this page. For your children that are entering kindergarten, a typical day would consist of all of these activities. Signing in is when they write their name, calendar work, shared reading, writing workshop, math, guided reading, stations, and stories. And that's a lot to fill a 2.5-hour day. Do we test for kindergarten? That is a question that we get many times. We do not test for kindergarten. We do offer a screener throughout the Lancaster-Lebanon County schools. All of the children are asked the following information. They're asked to write their name, about shapes, numbers, book handling skills, oral counting, identification of letters and sounds, and upper and lowercase letters. These are recorded so that we know where to start your child's education. This is not used as a reason for why your child should not come to kindergarten. At this time, I'm going to ask one of our kindergarten teachers to tell you more about our English Language Arts program and also our math program. Again, welcome to kindergarten.
Hi, my name is Allison Whitmer, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our kindergarten language arts curriculum. The HARCOURT Brace Reading Series is at the core of our language arts curriculum and includes many components that we use throughout the day in kindergarten. Things like read aloud time, independent reading time, guided reading groups, phonemic awareness instruction, as well as an introduction to robust vocabulary. I'm going to talk a little bit more about those things in just a few minutes, but I'd also like to mention the supplemental language materials that we also use with our students to help them develop necessary language skills. We use a program called Haggerty to help our students develop phonemic awareness skills. Phonemic awareness is the ability to manipulate the phonemes or sounds that are heard within words. During this part of our day, we do a series of quick-paced lessons that help our students hear the sounds in words. These activities are all auditory, and we might ask our children to tell us the first sound that they hear in cat. We might also ask them to tell us all of the sounds that they hear in a word. So at that point, they get their choppers up and we chop the word apart. And we might say, tell me the sounds you hear in tub. They chop it apart and say, b. And then we slide it back together and say, tub. We use lots of hand motions so that the children can visually see how we are adding to words and taking them apart. We also use a program called Fundation to teach our kindergartners the letters and sounds and other phonics skills. Through this program, we also teach handwriting skills and proper letter formation. So, when we talk about learning letters in kindergarten, it's not just seeing a letter and knowing that it's the letter G, for example, but it's knowing the letter, the sound, how to write it, uppercase and lowercase, and how to use those letters to build words. Other components of our language arts program are listed on this slide, and they include a read aloud time, and that's simply when the teacher reads a book to the class. We choose books from all types of genres so the students are exposed to lots of different types of literature. And our goal was for students to enjoy literature while also developing their comprehension skills along the way. We often find that this is a child's favorite part of the day because they just get to listen to a story and enjoy what's happening in that story. Another part of our day and our instruction is guided reading. And this is where the teacher works with small groups of students who have similar reading skills. We choose books that are appropriate to their level. We teach them skills that will help them develop as good readers. And we support them as they work their way through the learning to read process. This is often where the magic happens, when your child actually begins to become a reader. Another area we work with is developing vocabulary. We do this by introducing and presenting vocabulary words as they appear in the stories that we read. These are called robust vocabulary because they're rich words with great definitions and maybe not words that we use in our ordinary everyday talking. Independent reading time is when children simply read by themselves. They might read by themselves, they might read to a partner, but they're doing the reading. Some classrooms call this noses and books time, some call it ear time, some call it SSR. But in any case, regardless of what it's called, the children are reading by themselves and practicing their skills, developing their fluency, and just enjoying the process of reading. Another big part of our language arts curriculum is writing. In our kindergarten classrooms, we do several different types of writing, including independent writing, where the kids are writing on their own. They might be working on their name, they might be making lists, they might be labeling pictures, or doing several other types of activities. But this is independent writing time, and they're doing it by themselves. Guided writing time is when children write stories about things that have happened to them or small moments that they have experienced. With the teachers support the student and guide them through the writing process, helping them to develop their story and develop their skills as they're writing. And finally, shared and interactive writing time is when teachers and children work together to compose a message. This is truly a joint effort. Sometimes we call it sharing the pen, and the teacher and the students work together to write that message. So the teacher might write part of it and then invite students to take turns writing words that they know that go in the story or little parts that they've been working on. And this also helps the students develop their writing skills and show that they can express their thoughts through writing. These next few slides show some samples of kindergarten writing and what it looks like throughout the year. This slide right here shows a sample of a student's work from the very beginning of the year. The student wanted to write the message or the story, "I like to go bye-byes." And when I look at this, I see that the student wrote a beginning sound for each of those words. The word go is spelled correctly, so that must be one of the sight words that the student was working on and felt comfortable applying that to their writing. By the middle of the year, you can see that the writing is a little bit more advanced. This student responded to a prompt about a gingerbread cookie, and you can see he wrote two sentences and even started a third one. I see some sight words, some more sight words are spelled correctly, things like is and he and has. So I can tell that those things have been developing along the way. I see that this student is beginning to use some spaces between words and use punctuation at the end of their sentences. You can see how the writing is coming along as the year goes on. By the end of the year, we might have writing that looks like this sample. This question was asked. It says, would you rather swim in a pool or go to the beach, and why? And I see that this student was able to take a thought and develop it and express it through her writing. She said, I would rather go to the beach because you can play in the sand. I see a lot of words that this student already knows how to spell, and other words where she wrote the sounds that she hears. Not every word is spelled 100% correctly. Like I see the word because, not a word that the student has learned yet, but that student stretched it out and wrote the sounds that they can hear. And that is a great kindergarten approximation. This student is also using punctuation and capital letters, and you can see just that it's a complete progression from the beginning of the year, how the skills develop over the entire year. You will be amazed to see how much your child learns and grows when they go from writing a string of letters at the beginning of the year to possibly writing a complete story by the end of the year. So there you have it. That's a quick overview of our kindergarten language arts curriculum. We can't wait to meet your children next year and help them learn to read and write and grow.
Hello, my name is Brittany Geiter, and I am here to share some of what your child will be learning next year in math. In Penn Manor, we use the series Eureka Math. Your child will be focusing on number recognition from 1 to 100. So at the beginning of the year, this includes counting to 10, as well as identifying numbers all mixed up out of order and writing numbers to 10. In the middle of the year, we focus on counting to 20, as well as identifying and writing those numbers. We also work on counting by tens to 100, and then at the end of the year, we work on counting aloud to 50. Each day, we also use our calendar routine to support our math instruction. In kindergarten, your child will be using manipulatives. This can include blocks or counters in order to learn their math skills. They can be used for counting or representing numbers, or they can be used to model or act out a number story, for example, our addition or subtraction problems. So when you are counting at home with your child, such as snack pieces or counting toys, that is preparing and supporting them with that transition of using manipulatives at school. For measurement, we talk about length, weight, height, and capacity. For length, we discuss whether an object is longer or shorter. For weight, which one is heavier or lighter. For height, which one is taller or shorter. And for capacity, which one holds more or holds less. Shapes. Your child will be identifying two-dimensional and three-dimensional shapes. Our 2D shapes include circles, squares, rectangles, triangles, and hexagons. And our 3D shapes, which are usually the second half of the year, are spheres, cubes, cones, and cylinders. Your child will be sorting objects either by shape, by color, by size, or by count. So by count would be how many in a group. So when you are already sorting at home, say by color, shape, or size, you can extend that by putting 2 objects in a group, 2 objects, and then 3 objects. And you can have your child choose the groups that each have 2 items in it. When we start out the school year, we discuss position words such as above, below, beside, in front of. So when you are sitting at the table, you could already ask your child what is in front of him or who is sitting beside or next to her. And finally, your child will be making different patterns at school as well.
There are 3 pieces of information that are required for any student registering for school. This information includes a completed immunization record from the physician, a birth certificate, and proof of residence. Kindergarten students also need to have a physical and dental exam done prior to the start of school. Physical and dental forms can be found on the nurse's blog at the address noted. Here is a list of the required immunizations for all kindergarten students. It is important to note that students are required to have the proper number of immunizations, and the doses must also be properly spaced. In accordance with the Pennsylvania Department of Health guidelines, students who do not have the proper immunizations completed within the first 5 days of school will not be allowed to attend. Please contact your student's school nurse if your child has any medical condition, requires medication at school, or if you have any questions. Your child's school nurse contact information can be found on the school blog or on the nurse's blog at the address noted.